episode 13 of the Grow and Tell podcast. I'm Erin. I'm joined today by Jeff Selsor of Keys to the Kingdom Genetics. They specialize in creating organic and artisan marijuana seeds for cannabis connoisseurs, as well as those key producers. And they do a great job of breeding seeds that enhance, what do you say? You say health and consciousness. So I'm very excited to get into that, to figure out what aspects you're looking for in the plants you're breeding for and things like that. But Jeff, do you want to introduce yourself? Say hello to everyone.
Yeah, hi everyone. Sometimes known as Key Play 7 on IG. It's really good to be here. Thanks for having me, Erin.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm excited. I love talking to breeders, geneticists, cultivators, all those kinds of people. And how long have you been in cannabis, Jeff?
Well, I've been in cannabis almost all my life. I mean, I non-growing years is being a part of cannabis, because not only did I love it and was immersed with the Southern California scene at an early age, and then found it again in St. Louis. So I would say I smoked my first cannabis and knew that I would do something really special, or the plant was going to do something really, really special for me. 18 years old. So, wow. But I get, working with other cultivators and things like that. I got my start in 2006, growing indoors, and really in 2007 I began. So, just a little bit about that. I dealt a lot of cannabis, buying pound sheesh when I was a kid. So
yeah,
one way or all. So
yeah, here you are now distributing genetics to all of these legal, big producer processors. It's a crazy world we live in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost flipped, because it's gone corporate influence now in it. And there's a lot of corporations that are trying to get, the very finest. So it's just, and I'm not really involved with any of that ever. And, I believe that the genetics will find to help with corporations out, they're going to have to get it just like get them else. I have no work with any of these big umbrella corporations.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, that's cool. As a breeder, you get to decide where your genetics go to. It's like up to you, right? So
for the most part,
yeah.
For the most, like the wild west though. So a lot of people, they promise you the moon, and then you give them, what they want, and you think you're gonna have it and just take off, and it doesn't fizzle out. And once those genetics, it's like they're just gone. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I recognize some of the genetics that you're responsible for making, right? You're Grape Stomper and Mendo Breath, right?
Right.
Those are two really popular strains in Washington State.
Very popular, very medicinal strain.
And absolutely.
It's still utilized by the community in breeding and in grow. People still grow the Mendo Breath and the Grape Stomper.
Yeah,
Stomper
absolutely.
Is approximately 15, and So you'll be lucky to find a cut of that, but a lot of savvy people have used it in their, and the Grape Stomper OG, which I bred too, using my OG Joseph, actually won a High Times Cup, Southern California Best Indica Cup, a gold award, and for it just shows me that people really like it, and over a lot of really good strains in the competition.
Yeah. Yeah, I did notice on your LinkedIn, which everybody knows that I push LinkedIn for the cannabis industry really hard. I noticed all your awards were on there. It looks like you have like three to seven, I would say, like High Time awards and Cannabis Cup awards. It's excellent. It's really cool. Yeah.
Well,
Do you like?
it's people who really it's really fun, this business that things with my testers and my the people that grow, but it's really exciting to see where these genetics go and how they live to medical patients. And I really consider this, we all grow organic. I promote that healthy lifestyle to go with the cannabis that I provide. In this day and age of 2022, the way the world is, a lot of people are starting, to this healthy lifestyle thing, and a lot of people are changing diet habits. Like we don't eat meat. I don't fault anybody doing things the way I do, but there are a lot of people who are examining, with sugar and meat and all that kind of stuff, and cool, I kind of feel like I've been some last 10 years on different topics, but that's what a good person with integrity should do. Their information and try to help people with lifestyle and just bettering themselves.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah. And I'm with you. I don't prescribe to the things that, once again, like big corporations tell us are good for us. I think there is, a lot to be said for just doing what feels right for your body. So you can translate that into picking a strain even that works well for your body, or whether or not it's like I tell people I'm photosynthetic. I like to spend as much time in the sun as possible. So, and I think that makes me feel healthier. It makes me feel better. And, there are other people who tell me I'm going to get skin cancer, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, Jeff.
Well, I think that you're all right. I think a lot of the corporation and the AMA and groups tell us it's just fodder. And you're not getting overexposed. We all need all need the vitamin A and vitamin D and everything. The sunlight breathes life, and the sun is it's not just a light source, or there's something spiritual about the sun, and it's really worth investigating, like you said, and take care of yourself. I personally, I sun gaze. Powers to be will tell you that, if you look at the sun, you're gonna that doesn't. That's just crap. You're opening up pineal gland,
Yeah.
And so the sun, a lot of people in the Bible, there's a lot of verses about the sun. And if you think about it, the summer solstice is when, solstice, it goes right in line with the Christ,
Yeah.
So
I didn't think about that, actually. That's really interesting. Yeah.
And the 12 apostles is like the months of the year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of astrology, and the Bible is like a very it's like a medical book. It's a philosophy. It's parables, theology. It's not only that, but I mean, there's a lot more in the words. So I think in my life, it's very, very significant.
Yeah. Does the Bible talk about cannabis at all that you're aware of?
But not. And the Bible has been to me, it's been times. So yes, I don't know the exact scriptures, but oil and things like that are most likely because they found cannabis in traces of cannabis, ancient caves and vessels
and seeds. A lot of like I don't want to say dictators. That's not the right word. But a lot of people in power who are buried, they're buried with cannabis seeds and things like that. So that's, I mean, clearly they understood there was something about it that was important. So if they're going to be buried with it, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I studied the Bible. So I went to Gonzaga. I have, my bachelor's from Gonzaga. We take 4 years of religious studies because it's a Jesuit institution. But I never, during that time, I wasn't really thinking about how cannabis overlaps with other elements of your life. So I wasn't really reading the Bible looking for instances where it talks about cannabis. But now I'm kind of curious. Now I have to go back,
Right.
Yeah. Okay, but we kind of, I feel like this is a slight tangent. We should go back to breeding. I think that we'll do another episode where we talk about cannabis and spirituality, because I feel like you'd be a great guest for that one.
Yeah, we should. In the meantime, mentions or possible mentions in the Bible with cannabis. There's, I mean, we have Google and
yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's a lot. It's really cool because speaking of a very exciting time right now because there's a lot of people bring they're not trying. They're bringing the truth forward, and like every day there's something new to discover about this life that is this planet that we all
occupy.
I'm really excited. Just everything, really. I mean, this is a very exciting world. You can look at it in different ways, So going to shit and the world's kind of since I can remember, but where it's like where you want to make of it and the information that's being passed forward. I never thought that I would be immersed in this apocalypse, which is really a Greek word for the unveiling. Apocalypse,
pulling back the veil. Yeah.
Right. And in this really exciting time now, and to me, like it's not and careless and um, it's a time to on where you think we're going and where you want to go, because choices. A lot of people want to live in, they want to live a lower vibrational plane,
Mm-hmm.
and personally, I don't. I don't want to be around, it's bad for you. So, because it's sneaky, and it's very sneaky, and you think you're doing good for a minute, but you find that you're corrupt, and there's no back.
Yeah. You just have to look at your past as a learning experience and make better decisions each day, whatever that looks like. But I think what you're hitting on is a key point that actually cannabis helped me realize, is that all of our decisions are creating our environment. It's not the opposite. We're not living in an environment that the universe just pushed on us. Like, we make decisions every day that lead us to the points where we are. So, for example, this podcast, like, I never thought I would have a podcast, but I made decisions, that led me here. And then Joey and Mitch from Respect My Region, they thought I had something to say, so they gave me a podcast, and here we are talking to each other. So
that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of why people smoke weed, though, is to feel that sense of understanding, like that sense of having control over their lives. At least that's like the case for a lot of people. Is that so? When you talk about breeding seeds to empower consciousness, is that what you're kind of getting at, or is there something I'm not understanding?
I mean, I set off everything I do. I set off with some intent, and
good.
And I'm looking for, and I leave that pretty open. I have a real I have a real strong relationship that's way bigger than myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get into the ego thing, like I, me, my. Kind of like, I just take steps, and I know that I have a plan, but most of everything that I do to that direction, in that direction. So, and I like the path that I'm going. I've laid it out. I have really cool, what I think are really cool goals to see. I'm interested in more pure genetics, things from different parts of because I really feel that right now I haven't been doing this as long as some people have, but I feel that a lot of people are not doing anything new. To me, and that's what people want. It's like hype, and I'm trying to myth that or dehype it, and trying to bring that people haven't experienced or that they've experienced way back. The Colombians, the the Thai, these are things that when I was a kid, and like back in those days, you had to like it, and you couldn't, have it all over your, like in your front pocket, because you'd get in trouble. So, we this stuff would really make me It was incredible. I mean, this is what I grew up. So I know the potential of it, and do is bring it back in one form or another, so people can really enjoy it, and so we can all some medical use for it.
Yeah.
And
that is one thing that the black market kind of influenced when people were consuming it for non-medical purposes. Obviously, like, our genetics became more geared towards certain outcomes. And, you know, the people who were still breeding for medicinal purposes, their genetics came out for other outcomes. But now that we're kind of marrying, you know, the medical and the recreational market, or more having just like a little bit more synchronization between those two things, like, there is a lot of potential for breeding strains with, like what you're saying, that mimic the experiences of those pre-overbred or you know, black market bred. Yeah, pre-cookies. Yeah.
Talking about you know, running joke is now bottle, you know, it's everything. And you know, I don't I like wedding cake, you know, but me, I'm kind of I come from an art background, so my art satire into my breeding, you know, and with my research that's being turned into really high-end hash right now. This is going to be a lot of fun. Zamaldelica from A-Seeds, and the Zamaldelica is a strain, a Thai, and a Malawi, and it's the most garden this year. It's just the thin leaves, the bush. It's supposed to be high THC, but I bred that with a wedding Malawi. And it's really amazing to the wedding cake influence in this, and you definitely see it. It's like a real hashy, gassy, you know, it looks like a lamb, but it doesn't smell like a lamb rice, you know.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's kind of like that's what I'm going to try to make another cookies, you know. I'm going to try to, because what a lot of breeders use, you know, like decades ago, and a lot of people, myself, still use it, are Afghanis and like Northern Lights number 2, and things to
and skunk number 1, and those ones.
Stabilize it, and they bring the time down, and so nobody wants to grow a 20-week strain. I'm still looking for that Vietnamese a lot, you know.
Maybe if they're doing like one harvest a year, then they would be fine with it. Like, you know, I actually did do an outdoor where instead of staggering planting, I just staggered like the length of maturation. So everything kind of went across the field and matured as I was able to harvest it. So maybe, but it wouldn't work in Washington because it would be too long out in the rain.
Right. Oh, yeah, but you know, where I couldn't grow any of this stuff outdoors, I have to, you know, because I still have some golden tigers out in the greenhouse now, and they'll probably November 15, you know, maybe Thanksgiving, and so reason they as long as I don't water on a freezing night, there, and but a lot of these things need a lot of time, and what I do is I always had this dream of creating a haze. How I'm going to do that, but I just love that, and I'm trying to trying to find something that has got a good 50-50, like a CBD, THC
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah. That's
I've had a lot.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. I see a lot of 50-50 blends that are created from, I mean, they're concentrates for the most part, right? They're like CBD concentrate mixed with a THC concentrate. And I sell a ton of them in cartridge form, but it would be lovely to actually be able to sell some in flower form just because it's not very common. You know, I see a lot of 3-to-1s. But yeah, not so many 1-to-1s.
Thinking like an OG and a broadleaf hemp or something like that, or
Yeah.
something really. Now, I mean, there's really cool farmers in Santa Cruz that have been with this stuff. This guy named Ringo used to do like a blueberry or something that was 50-50. And so, really like to do, I like a lot of the ties and Indian strains, Indian strains. So I like the peppery. I would really like to hit that with something really nice, like our cherry wine, or
Oh yeah.
we were Harlequin years and years ago.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know if you remember. So I'm just trying to, I just have this palette, and
Yeah. No, I respect it. I personally, I'm tired of like the cakes and the cookies and the candies. Like that's not really a palette that I enjoy. I'm hoping that we move towards like teas. Like I would really like, a green tea flavor profile or like a hibiscus flavor profile, even chamomile. Like those are like obviously flavor profiles that are found in the plant kingdom. So why are we not able to, or at least trying to, bring some of that flavor profile back into weed? Because I think it'd be really cool. Obviously, I think those strains would be more approachable to people who are new to cannabis, and that's also one of my passions is introducing people to cannabis. And it's really intimidating. It's like nobody wants to try Alaskan Thunderfuck for their first strain, or like nobody wants to try like, some of these crazy crosses, purple octane, fucking blah, blah, blah. I just would like a hibiscus would be lovely. So, yeah.
well, I like things, and one of the things working with is a Laotian, and I'm going to try to make that manageable.
Yeah.
I still the original haze with a very Kremlin OG.
Ooh.
So these are things selling for outrageous prices, and I will never do that. I want to make my work affordable, and I want everybody to have access to it.
Yeah.
It's not just a few. I mean, you still have to search to find types, But I think that's where it should be, and that really separates the good work when every pack of seeds can provide a plant and some excitement with somebody. Those are my goals. Make really a really good product that everybody is happy with price. And of course, your intent your aspirations, your goodwill towards others, these things, and that's what gets sent out with them. You know, we're not looking for squabbling or people to, you know, find it and, you know, and just keep it away from everybody. We want everybody good so they can use it, and you know, so because it's really exciting to me when somebody says, you know, it has epilepsy and your strain is quality of life.
Yep.
You know, those kind of that kind of feel, to me, that's precious. You know, that lets me know the road, you know, and that I'm doing something that is significant. So that's where I'm at. You know,
no, I share that sentiment. I mean, even when I'm running the dispensary and selling a lot of recreational product, I still sell medicinal product that like makes people's lives better every day, and finding the right product for them is definitely one of the things that I prioritize on my day-to-day. And yeah, it's just like the least you can do, you know. I feel literally like that is the least you can do, is make somebody else's day a little bit better. So that's what I'm out. That sounds like that's what we're out here doing, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I just really, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's challenging.
Yeah.
Sometimes things don't work the way you want, but you just, you know, they get, you know, upset. Just keep going for it. Keep, you know, because if you have a vision and you keep working towards that vision, you know, that it's going to, you know, it's no doubt it'll happen if that's what you, and if you're really seeing it.
Manifest your desires. Yep. Yeah. Well, Jeff, we are officially out of time. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Obviously, I want to thank you, Jeff, for joining us, for coming on the podcast. Everyone, if you have a chance, please like, subscribe, all those good things. Check out Jeff's Genetics at Keys to the Kingdom. Maybe get some, maybe grow some good weed from it. And if you have time, come back. Jeff, I'd love to have you on again. This is fun, or we'll just have a side podcast maybe.
Yeah, I didn't think we even really got started there, but
I know.
You know,
I know half an hour is so limiting, but I think, you know, we demonstrated that we care about people having a good time with weed. And that's really all that's important. Yeah, we absolutely do. Yeah. Well, thank you. And everybody, I'll see you again next time. Thanks, Jeff.